Site-based meeting, special call meeting for the purpose of discussing staffing after day 10 enrollment. It is 4:31 and we do have quorum. So I'm Joe Gibson, head principal and chair of the council. With this, we would just have members one at a time unmute, say your name, and if you're a teacher or parent representative. Whoever wants to go first.
I'm Lynn Price-Goda. I'm a teacher representative.
I'm Jamie Hoefnagel. I'm a teacher representative.
I'm Ashley Ho, and I'm a parent representative.
I'm Ronette Wilder, and I'm a parent representative.
Okay. All right. Seth Miller hasn't joined us yet, but I will be looking for him to join at any moment. Again, with a special call meeting, we can only discuss what the meeting was called for, and that was for staffing after day 10. Fayette County Public Schools, what we do is, before it was day 4, but because of the virtual learning and school start date pushed back, they waited until day 10 for us to get a final projection of enrollment. So what we initially back in February had numbers for this school year, and they based that enrollment projection on 98% of our numbers. So after day 10, we meet to see if you came in with that number or over that number, and what you have to do in terms of staffing. So with that, I will kind of start sharing. I believe I did send this to everyone, but I will pull it up. Is that viewable there, Mr. Combs?
Yes,
okay.
that's good.
All right, so February of 2020, we were projected to have 983 students, and that was based on, that's 98%. So they were projecting us around 1,000 students, and so they staff us on 98%. The reason they do that is in case you do come in under enrollment, they don't want to have to take teachers away from you. So if you've added teachers because of enrollment, they wait till the day 4 or day 10, and if you come in close to that, then you get to keep those teachers, and they don't want to have to take those teachers away from you if you fall under that. So that did show a cut in enrollment for us from where we had been last year. So we lost 2 positions, and basically the positions that we lost from last year were all cut out of our math program. So we lost 2 math interventionists. So after day 10, we have 1,027 students, and because we came in over enrollment, we get to add 2 more teachers to our program. So very lucky. A lot of schools were not in the same boat as us. We kind of had some numbers down through middle schools throughout the district. If a student chose to do a virtual learning academy for a year or a semester, then that student was taken out of your enrollment. So we don't have a lot of students going to virtual learning academy out of Leestown, but some other schools do. So that really affected their enrollment for this year. But a good thing is Fayette County, they didn't take any teachers away from any school. But if you were down 3 or 4 teachers than what you were staffed on, you get to keep those teachers, but it would affect your staffing in spring 2021. So luckily that didn't happen to us. We are adding 2 positions. So as a site-based council, then we kind of determine what we do with these positions. The district just gives us 2 positions, and we have to see how they fit in our instructional program. I just put together a couple of things that some of our needs here based on our student population and then what we've lost. Of course, We don't have any math intervention. We are lucky to have two dedicated reading interventionists, but right now we don't have any math support and bilingual support. We did have a full-time bilingual paraprofessional that helps support those students that we've had for a few years, but we had to cut that position because of that decrease in enrollment last year affected that as well. So as an admin team, we just kind of looked at our program and thought some of the needed positions would be, of course, that math intervention spot and bilingual help. And we thought it would be great if maybe we could post this interventionist position and put bilingual preferred on it. I'm not sure what we would get. Right now it's always hard to find a math teacher, and maybe even harder to find a bilingual math teacher. But I think it would be worth it to put that out there and see what we get. We did have some increase in Title I funds. So we do have about 5.5 teachers, I believe, on Title I. So Title I pays for those positions. And that sometimes I can work that around and free up money on the workbook to use for other positions. I can't pay for classified staff out of Title I dollars, but I can pay for a percentage or all of a certified person that would free up money on my Section 6 workbook to pay for a classified person. And I know that probably makes no sense to anybody because it's just numbers and it's just basically two pots of money that I have to play around with to use for staffing. So long story short, I do think that we could probably add back a 0.5 bilingual professional as well and be able to pay for that. So that's kind of some of the things that we threw around as an admin team. Would love to hear your thoughts on that, or if you have, if you feel like we should go in different directions. So just kind of open it up for discussion.
Mr. Gibson, do you know what approximate numbers are in each grade level, like 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade?
Yes, I do. It'd take me a minute to pull those up, but
Okay, all right. Sorry.
I should have had that already, but
And then my next question would be, which grade levels do you think would benefit from these teachers? Or would it be done through exploratory or?
that's a good question. We would have to see how best to use them. The previous interventionists that we had two, but we used them the same way we did the reading intervention. So they serviced all 3 grade levels. So we kind of created a schedule where, they pulled from all 3, exactly how we do with the reading. And we kind of played around with planning periods and some times there, so to make that work. So I don't know if you remember how that worked last year. I think the problem with last year is we had 2 interventionists for math, but we had one that was here all day, and then we had 2 0.5s. So there was some time that we had to play that we didn't have some areas covered just because of how that 0.5 worked out. I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not. So.
Before Mr. Hoofnagel, they were used in the exploratory time. We had one in the morning that did 8th grade. We had someone that came in at lunch and did 6th and 7th grade. I'm not sure about the person that was here all day, how they were worked into the schedule, but the 0.5s were through exploratory.
Okay, Mr. Gibson, I could be a little off, but what I remember from last time, 7th grade was 348, 8th grade was 352, and I believe 6th grade was like 320 something.
Yeah, that's it. 348.
Maybe like 27 or something around there. I can't remember.
We've actually added a couple of students, so around
Yeah.
10:30 right now.
And I remember that because Mr. BK was very excited. You had 4 more students in 8th grade than we
Yes.
did in 6th.
Yeah, that's kind of roughly what it is, 348, 352, 327.
Thank you.
Now, we looked at, how could we maybe, and kind of how you're staffed. You're staffed on 29 to 1 for 6th grade and 30 to 1 for 7th and 8th grade. Or maybe it's 28 to 1, 6th grade, and 29 to 1, 7th and 8th grade. So we're kind of getting close to those numbers in all 3 grade levels. The hard thing it would be to add to the core of a grade level, and I'll just say it is, where would they teach? Classrooms. We're kind of we're out of space right now. I mean, anybody that we add at this point in time would float to classrooms, and there's no way around that because we have no more spaces. We had to we were using some of the spaces in the nurses' air station for offices, and we've had to clear that out because we have to have a defined sick bay area when we come out. So those people had to go somewhere. So we're using every closet and workroom and everything available at this point in time.
Every nook and cranny.
That's right.
I have 2 questions, and I mean, they're related to staffing, they're related to this issue, but they may not be anything we can answer today.
Okay.
My first one is about the building capacity issue. Can we request more portables so that we could have more options of what to add?
Yeah. Well, portables right now, we could request them, but it's about a 2.5, 3-year process before you would get a portable, even if you were approved.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time we were requesting portables, it took us 2 years
Yeah.
to get that, and it didn't even start when we needed it to, so it probably was 2.5.
Yeah.
But I agree. And I think too, last time when they looked at like building things, numbers, because I was on that committee downtown, they have our numbers as something a little bit different for enrollment because they've not updated everything yet. It's based on, I forgot how many years ago, but I think they'll be updating that this year. So every time I would see it, I go, that's not right. That's not our numbers. Hello. And they're like, oh, but you have to know this is based on something else. So.
For instance,
I wonder if eventually there will be a cap on our enrollment. I know they say that in print at certain schools that, you can't apply and out of district or whatever, that there, in theory, is a cap. Is there really a cap, and are we going to reach it?
I would doubt it. I mean, we are the 3rd largest middle school in the city, so we're about 90 students less than Jesse Clark, about 100 students less than Edith J. Hayes. Edith J. Hayes is a bigger building. Jesse Clark isn't too much larger in terms of square footage than we are. So if they would cap them, then we would know if they would cap us. But portables, the thing is we have space for portables, but like I said, that's a long process. Put that in perspective, I think Winburn requested portables and went through the whole process the same time that we got ours, which was 2 years ago, and I think they're just putting those in now, or if they just put those in. So the other thing is, that the district has to, one portable is about $100,000 to purchase and put it in, so they're quite expensive. So.
And they rent those, correct? They don't even purchase those,
Right,
correct?
yeah, they don't own those. It's there's a yearly upkeep cost on those things. So, so I can talk to Myron, and I will talk to Myron and Steve Hill, who's the DPP, and just say, long-term plans for Leestown. I have a feeling that they're probably thinking that when the new middle school is built, that there will be some type of redistricting that will maybe alleviate some space here. So, but I'm not sure how that would work. So, and that's a few years down the road. So, and we keep growing, and Jason Gillum, who is kind of a master at these numbers. We usually run the first numbers late October to see where we're at, and he's usually right on it. So,
Mr. Gibson, I did want to address one thing Ms. Prozgoda said. One thing they do allow us to do, though, is with the out of area, they will allow us to not, or tell people, we cannot accept any out of area because of our things.
Exactly.
I mean, we're not getting, 900 kids trying to come out of area. I mean, we may get some, and that is one way they do try to help us.
Yeah, that is a good point. That a parent just can't request to go here through me or the DPP. That is capped. They do allow us a few spots for the special program, but pre-engineering. But those spots have been decreasing over the past few years as well. So.
My other question, and I don't mean to dominate because I know
No, it's fine.
other people probably have questions and we need to make a decision. But my other question was about, we're double math as far as I understand it, at least down in some of those positions may be what is coming out of Title I in theory. I'm not sure how it looks on paper, but what's our long-term plan for the double math? Is there a certain point that we would graduate from that in order so these math intervention classes could be the second math class, so that they were for the neediest and not for everyone? Or is it a permanent plan to keep double math?
It would be a permanent plan as long as we're coming in the sixth grade with 30 and 40% novice in math, and that's what we are. So,
And Lynn, it's more of 1.5. It's not really double because they do that A day, B day with the language arts.
so for instance, I think after MAP in 2019 in the fall, I mean, we were 27, 28% novice in terms of math in sixth grade. Now our program is very proven to get that down. I mean, by the end of the year, I think, or not the end of the year, but after the winter map, we were around 11 or 12%. So that's a lot of gap reduction right there, and it can be contributed to the. Everybody has a tier 2 math class, and then we would use those math interventionists. They would be that tier 3 teacher, so be even the smaller.
That's some really good data. I like that.
And I also think it helps on the other end too, because remember, Gibson, when I started, we were only having about 20% of our kids were proficient.
Right.
And we have really used that because it's not just a remediation thing, the way the
Right.
teachers they're helping teach part of that content so that each teacher can go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
So the proposal is the 2 math interventionists, and then we could potentially put bilingual preferred.
Yeah, I think that, I could try it and see. That the good thing right now, since we are learning in a virtual world, that I've got a little bit of time to really look for some people for these positions. It's not like we're at school and we need to get this math intervention program going next week. We're still living in the virtual world, and trying to think about hybrid. And if we move to a hybrid situation, you're probably looking mid-October before that would start, or maybe even November. So we got some time to really hit the ground and look to see who's out there. So, and then if nobody's out there, then we can come back and go a different direction. So,
Mr. Gibson,
sure. Hey,
is there, I know we're supposed to talk positions, not people, but that bilingual
yeah.
person, is there any hope that maybe we could get that person back?
I would think anybody that had served in this position before may have a certified or teaching position somewhere at this point in time. So, and if that person did have a certified teaching position. We're very happy for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers your question there, Jamie.
I didn't know that part
Yeah,
of the story.
gotcha.
All right.
But that's a good question, so. And like I said, I don't know if there's anybody out there, and this is not a thing that think that we've got a good line on somebody for math support that's bilingual. I have no idea what's out there. Just thought, this might be a good time to try that.
Anytime we can get someone with another language is always a
Exactly.
bit for us.
As long as they can service the language that, we need Swahili or we need Spanish or even French would help.
So Pig Latin doesn't count,
Yeah,
Mr. Gibson?
That's right. That's, yeah. So any other comments or concerns or think that there's other possibilities we need to look at?
All right, do you need a motion?
Yes, if we're good with that, we just need a motion to post 2 math intervention teachers, bilingual preferred, and a 0.5 bilingual para.
All right, I'll make a motion to post 2 math intervention positions, bilingual preferred, and a 0.5 bilingual para.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Sorry. Any opposed? All right, so this motion has passed, and we will get this posted. Probably will post in the next day or so. Now, our October meeting is, when is it? October the 12th. So this will be a good, few days, few weeks for this to be posted and see what kind of interest we have. And if it doesn't look like there's anybody out there, then we can come back and revisit this issue if we need to go in a different direction, kind of change course then. How's that sound?
That's good.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You need a
Have a
motion.
great week.
Have
Oh,
a
and
joke.
motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion. Ashley Ho, I'll make the motion to adjourn our special call meeting.
I'll second.
All right. All right. We'll be back together on October the 12th.
Okay. Have a great week.